So very briefly, we're going to show purchase orders being entered into NAV. They're going to feed through web services into the Emydex Office client. From within Emydex, we're then going to process them on the shop floor, capture some quality information, send that back off to Safer 360, and also the information will be sent back into NAV so they can pay for the purchases. And then we're going to try and issue those products into production, and to do that we use a handheld shop floor scanner. The pallet that we've released from QC will let us scan it through and into production, and the pallet that hasn't been released yet will be getting an error message to say this hasn't been released to production.
So I'm going to create a new purchase order so the system will give me the number for supplier, food supplier A, and I'll go down to my lines, I'll add 2 products. So I'll go with food ingredient A, and I'll buy 30 units or cases or pallets or whatever it may be. Food ingredient B, and 20, oh sorry, I'll switch that one. I'll bring in an ingredient B, and I'll buy 25 of those as units. At this stage, so I've literally on my header, I just picked a supplier, I entered my couple of lines. The other thing that's relevant to Emydex is basically to say, look, when are we expecting this to come in? So I'll say today to release it to the floor. So the floor knows when to expect to get the GRN in, or that we're showing a filtered list to the floor. When I'm done, basically to pass the item out to Emydex, I just have to release the purchase order. And that's kind of telling Emydex, okay, this is good to go. I'm back out on my main screen here. You'll see there's a pending queue waiting to sync out to Emydex, and there's a history of inbound and outbound as the items are exchanging. We'll just refresh that. That's actually gone to Emydex now, so we can carry over the next step.
So if we go back to the Emydex Office client, as James was saying, you've got the familiar workspace, the ribbon and the nav bar down the side. What I want to look for is order management and look for those purchase orders. And there it is, that's the one, number 39 is the purchase order that's just been brought in. It's showing it at an order level there, and if I click on that, it'll expand it out to line level. So they've got 2 order lines, 30 boxes of ingredient A and 25 boxes of ingredient B. What we now need to do is to move over to the shop floor system and process that order. Now ordinarily there will be a pallet scale here, and we'll be automatically reading the weights on the scale, but I don't want to move a 600 kilo pallet around in this suit, so I'm going to simulate it by entering the weight manually. But the first thing we need to do is select the order number. So we select the order number. That will pre-fill the supplier box and the product line boxes for the order lines. There's a certain amount of data that we need to enter in the header that will actually be coming in on the delivery note you're receiving from the supplier. Typically there will be a delivery note number, and let's just say for argument's sake it's 123. There might be a supplier's traceability code, their lot number for the particular products that are being brought in. There might be a board beer certificate number on there. Put something on there. So we're now ready to start receiving in the first pallet of ingredients. First thing you might notice is a red box on the right hand side of the screen, and that's basically saying that the QC required. We can't bring it in until we've carried out the QC checks. So I'm selected on number A. I'll press the cross up button. So is there a flow chain showing the information present? Yes, there is. It's telling me to take one test from the middle of the pallet for temperature, so let's say it's 4 degrees. What's the colour of the product? Take a test from the middle of the pallet. Let's say this first one's okay. And I'm assuming that we're going to take a DNA test. I'm assuming that it's going to be a sample that's put into a pot or a plastic envelope, and there'll be some sort of a label on there with a reference number, so that when it goes off to the laboratory, the result comes back a day, 2 days later, relevant to that particular reference number. So let's say that the pot number on the label on this one is 1234. Okay, and I'll submit that now. Once it's been submitted, the QC captured turns to green, and I can now start to actually weigh the pallet. The first thing I want to know is how many boxes on the pallet. Even though it's telling me that there are 30 ordered, it's not assuming that what was ordered will come in. So there actually are 30 boxes on this pallet. Asks me to enter the kill date and the pack date for the products. So let's say it was killed on, that would be Sunday, but and it was packed yesterday. And now, so normally this is where we'd automatically weigh the product. I'm going to interrupt the process and manually enter the weight. So press save, do this. And let's say that this particular pallet was 600.5 kilos. Process the record, a label comes out for the pallet, and you'll notice there's a big barcode on there. That's just the individual unique pallet number that we're going to be using for scanning at the later stage. And we're now going to process the second pallet. As you can see, the QC required button's now gone red again, because we've not done the QC on this particular pallet. So, exactly the same way. The crossover information. Yes. Let's say this one's 5 degrees. And let's say the colour is pale. And let's say the DNA pot number is 1, 2, 3. Sorry again. 1, 2, 3, 5. Okay. And we'll submit that. Should turn green. Okay. It's asking me to enter the quantity again. So this one is 25. Kill date. Let's go back again. Pack date. Now I can weigh it. So enter the weight. And the label for the second pallet. So that's completed the intake process on Emydex on the shop floor. If we go back into the office client on Emydex and just click on that line again, you can see it's a fully real-time system. As soon as you do something on the shop floor, it's available on the client. We see now for the details, what was ordered was 30 for a weight of 600. What actually received was 30 for a weight of 600.5. And the second line, 25, 25, and 499. So that's received that product in on Emydex, and it's ready to be sent up to NAV now for processing the purchase invoice. And to do that, we just change the status to closed. And that information has now been sent back up via the cloud to be processed into NAV. And I'll hand you back over to Jer just to show that going in.
Okay, so the final stage in NAV, so in terms of what Peter was saying there and handing out the information, we're communicating via web services. So it basically means from a NAV viewpoint, Emydex can be deployed on 10 plants remotely and communicate back through web service channels back into a HQ system, a single NAV installation at HQ. What we've done for the purpose of this demo, normally the communication inbound and outbound and everything is automatic, but just to show you in the background, I've turned off the automatic processing of the inbound, so I can see in my inbound queue I've basically got 2 transactions coming back from Emydex, which are to do with a purchase order number 39 that had an original line weight out of 600 and 500, an actual line weight returned, and as I said, rather than automatically processing them, I just manual process and click on the button. So the final stage from a NAV viewpoint, I can either invoice from the PO, or I can go in and create a new purchase invoice for 3-way matching. So again, it was food supplier A, create a new invoice number, put in the vendor invoice number. So if you have items on QC hold and you want the QC status to pass back so the supplier invoice goes on hold, and all those kind of items can be managed as well. So basically once I've created the header, I can go and get receipt lines, and it will show me the GRN, the intake that has been processed. And these are available currently uninvoiced intakes for this supplier. So it's 3-way matching. It's basically from a secure viewpoint or from your accounts payable viewpoint to ensure that you're matching off the GRNs as they have been provided by the supplier. So if there's an overbilling or underbilling, you can put them on and monitor them as adjustment lines on the supplier invoice. So that's now sucked in my 2 GRN lines. and ultimately I'll post my supplier invoice.
I'm going to use the handheld scanning system now to try and move the pallets into production. This functionality is under our stock management menu, and it's part of the to production. So it's asking me to select an action. So I think there's only one action on this setup, which is the to production. What line is it going to? Let's say it's going to line 1. I can go into a batch number, production, for the argument's sake, let's say it's 1, 2, 3. Now I'm ready to start scanning pallets into production. So if I scan my product B to start off with, won't let me put it in because that's the one that's awaiting the DNA test result. It's saying keep the product on hold in the chill. So basically it won't let me issue that pallet into production. If I choose the other pallet and scan that one, that's gone straight through into the system, into production.